This month we're going to talk about heat stress. The first day of summer isn't until June 21st, but temperatures are already heating up. Usually by the end of July through the month of August, we see the hottest temperatures, many times reaching triple digits. Extreme heat can be very dangerous and can cause a large variety of heat-related illnesses. Heat stress occurs when your body cannot cool itself enough to maintain a healthy temperature. If the body can't effectively cool itself, the body's core temperature rises and the heart rate increases. As this happens, the person begins to suffer from heat stress. Some effects of heat stress include muscle cramps, also known as heat cramps, heat rash, dehydration, fainting, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. So what can increase your risk of heat stress? Well, high temperatures and humidity, direct sun with no shade, low fluid consumption, previous heat-related illnesses, health problems, and certain medications. You should know the signs and symptoms of heat-related illness, and you need to know how to get first aid or emergency medical treatment for yourself or a coworker should it happen. Heat cramps are muscle spasms that happen from losing a large amount of salt and water through sweat. These cramps usually happen in the abdomen, arms, or the calves. If you're drinking electrolyte liquids like Gatorade and other sports drinks, they may not eliminate the pain, but they're going to help during recovery. So you can prevent heat cramps by drinking a small cup of water every 20 to 30 minutes, even when you're not thirsty. If you're having heat cramps, you should stop activity and move to a cool place. Drink plenty of water or sports drinks, and you should rest until those cramps stop. A heat rash occurs when sweat ducts become clogged. Once those sweat ducts are clogged, then sweat cannot get to the surface. This causes a mild inflammation or a rash. Some of the main causes of heat rash are hot climates, physical activity, and overheating. If you do have a heat rash, your skin irritation can lead to the infection. So you want to wash and change into dry clothes. That can help. Dehydration is a very serious side effect of extreme temperatures, and it can be life-threatening if left untreated. When you can't replace water fast enough by drinking enough fluids, then we risk dehydration. Once you get to this point, things are going to get serious pretty quickly. Some common symptoms of dehydration include severe thirst, dry skin, fatigue, dizziness, dry mouth, increased heart rate or breathing, and muscle cramps. Fainting can also be another form of heat stress. Heat causes an increase in blood flow to the skin and pooling of blood in the legs, which can lead to a sudden drop in blood pressure. This drop in blood pressure is what might make you feel lightheaded or faint. If you or someone with you is feeling dizzy or faints, you should get the person to a cool area and lay them down if possible, and you want to increase fluid intake. Heat exhaustion is a serious condition that can develop into heat stroke. Once dehydration has occurred, your body goes into overdrive trying to keep itself cool. And as a result, your body loses fluids faster, your blood pressure rises, and disorientation might set in. It can also lead to fainting. If you or someone around you is suffering from heat exhaustion, you should move to a cool shaded area and don't leave them alone. They need to drink water if not nauseous, and they need to cool down with a wet cloth. Some other symptoms of heat exhaustion include cool, pale, or clammy skin, headache, nausea or vomiting, fatigue, rapid or weak pulse, dizziness, muscle cramps, and severe thirst. Heat stroke occurs when your body's core temperature rises above 104 degrees Fahrenheit and the body's internal systems start to shut down. This can happen by being exposed to hot, humid weather for prolonged periods of time or intense physical activity in hot weather. Without adequate treatment, heat stroke can be fatal. During a heat stroke, your skin can be red like a sunburn and dry or hot. You should lie down in a cool shaded area. Don't leave the person alone. They need to drink water if they're not nauseous, and cool the person down by placing ice packs in their armpits. Symptoms of a heat stroke can include throbbing headache, confusion, high body temperature, and dry or hot skin, loss of coordination. And a person suffering from a heat stroke needs immediate medical attention. Protect yourself from a heat-related illness by taking precautions ahead of time. Monitor your physical condition and the condition of coworkers for signs or symptoms of a heat illness. You could be having symptoms and not realize it, and your coworker can see it. Let someone around you know if you think you're having symptoms of a heat stress. If you don't speak up, then someone may not know it. When possible, schedule heavy work during the coolest part of the day. Take more breaks when doing heavier work and in high heat and humidity. Take breaks in the shade or a cool area when possible. Avoid drinks with caffeine, and you should drink water frequently. Here's 4 basic hot weather tips. You want to stay hydrated, drink plenty of fluids, don't wait until you're thirsty to drink, make sure to avoid liquids that will dehydrate you like coffee, tea, and soda. And you should wear protective clothing. You want to wear lightweight, light-colored, and loose-fitting clothing when possible. Take frequent breaks. If you can, take frequent breaks from the hot temperatures in a shaded or air-conditioned area. Wear sunscreen. Sunburn affects your body's ability to cool down and can make you dehydrated. To protect yourself from the sun, you should wear sunscreen that protects you from both UVA and UVB rays. Let's go over the difference between UVA and UVB rays. UVA rays go deep into the layers of your skin and can even go through glass. They cause more of your wrinkles and skin aging. They cause indirect damage to DNA. About 95% of the UV rays that reach the ground are UVA rays. They cause an immediate tanning effect and sometimes a sunburn. The effects of UVA rays tend to appear right away. UVB rays do not go as deep into the layers of your skin. They cannot go through glass, and they damage skin cells and cause DNA mutations that lead to skin cancer. They also can cause cataracts. About 5% of the UV rays that reach the ground are UVB rays. Overexposure to UVB rays lead to sunburns. Usually the effects of UVB rays are delayed and appear a few hours after sun exposure. And I also have a few fun Arkansas heat facts. The warmest temperature ever recorded in Arkansas was 120 degrees on August 10, 1936, and that was in Ozark. The hottest recorded temperature for Little Rock was 114 degrees on August 3, 2011. And I also found where they have the years with the most days over 100, and I put the top 10 years. The 9th place was tied. So I'm not going to go over every year, but I'm going to point out a couple. So 1980 was our number 1, and it had 47 days that were over 100 degrees. And then we were tied for 9th with 2022 and 2011 with 18 days over 100. So let's hope that this year we don't break any of those records. OSHA has a free app that you can get it's a heat safety tool. It's going to give you the heat index for your location. It's going to give you the signs and symptoms of a heat illness. It gives you first aid instructions. It's going to give you the precautions to take for the risk area that you're in. And it's free and it's available for Android or iPhone. I also wanted to let everyone know that we have 4 new AEDs, and I'll tell you about where those are located. There's one in the operations main building. There's one in the collections engineering building. It's located in the middle of that building in the hallway that's between collections and engineering. There's one in the lab building. It's through the glass double doors right before you get to the lab, and there's a storage room. It's located right beside of it. And there's one in the admin building, and it's middle of that building. There's a copy machine. It's on the wall across from the copy machine. If you have any questions or comments, I'll try to answer them for you. You can stop by the lab building, or you can call me at extension 104.